Welcome in, everybody, and welcome to the Birds of the Round Table. Tonight, we start our journey from quarterback to safety. We'll give you our top prospects heading into the 2026 draft. Join me, as always, David at David Nice PHL. What's going on, buddy?
Doing good, man. Looking forward to the off season, going over free agents, and of course the draft, which is probably my favorite part of the whole yearly process of this. So I don't know if everybody will enjoy this particular episode of quarterback, but we're doing it anyway.
Well, there you go. Yeah, we got to talk about them all. Joining us, as I mentioned last week, we unfroze him. He is back for draft season. At Mr. Crackpot, we have Deibs returning once again. What's going on, bud?
What's going on, guys? I'm psyched, though. We're getting the ugly out of the way. We're ripping off the Band-Aid in the worst class period in this draft. So let's get this thing rolling.
Yeah, so tonight we are going to discuss our top 5 quarterbacks heading in to the 2026 draft. And then we are going to do a quick mock draft where we actually have to draft a quarterback. So that'll be interesting to see, what we come up with. So why don't we get started here? Brett Eclipse already in the chat. What's going on, pal? Before we get started, I know it's a draft show, but I was heavily disappointed to see the news that several members of the offensive staff are sticking around, especially Moorhead. Yeah, I think that was the number one guy that I thought we all were good with getting out of here. But he's sticking around as of news today. What came out today, right? So yeah, Moorhead is getting another shot. What do you guys think before we get into the quarterback?
I mean, I was surprised, but I think I could coach the wide receivers, and AJ and Devontae would get 1,000 yards. But I mean, that's just me.
It's into the great unknown. I mean, there's so much change. It's hard to truly start, especially with this offense and what we're going to see. So it's going to be exciting. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt at first, but this is going to be the most heavily assessed units easily over the next 6 months. So it's going to be.
I am curious if this means that AJ's likely staying, because it just seems like if they were trying to overhaul the position, it wouldn't be with someone who hasn't really developed a lot of guys. I mean, AJ came here ready. Devontae came out of college pro ready. You know, you look at the other guys who weren't, like Rager, Johnny Wilson, whoever else you want to throw in there. There wasn't a lot of the development, quite frankly. So it makes me wonder if the guys kind of maybe rooted for him to come back, and that's the way it's going, because otherwise you would have thought that they would have just wanted to overhaul everything like they've done with all the other positional coaches. But
yeah, makes sense. So
we'll see.
According to the media, he's as good as gone. So who knows?
Yeah, I don't see it. We'll see.
Yeah, same. All right, let's get right into it. Deibs, you want to start it off with your number 5 quarterback?
Yeah. Well, let me share my graphic on the screen.
Yeah, go for it, dude.
Kind of going off the cuff here. A lot of these guys, if we were comparing draft classes over the last several years and with this year, a lot of the guys we're talking about are going to be kind of day 3 dudes. So I'm going to lead off with a Senior Bowl winner that kind of impressed me a little bit. A big-time boomer bust guy, and his name is Taylor Green. You look at the physical, measurable, 6'6", 224 pounds, has a ton of upside, tremendous measurables, one of the biggest boomer bust prospects in this draft, great arm strength, he has touch, mobility, really good-looking deep ball. He's strong, really powerful runner when he gets out in open space, but man, he is just a terrible decision maker, terrible mechanics, does not know how to go through his progressions, ton of inconsistent tape. He's the kind of guy that you lose games because of, or you win games because of, and that consistency shows on tape from quarter to quarter to quarter. But played really well at the Senior Bowl, and He's not a true quarterback right now. He's more of a great athlete. But if you're looking for a developmental guy, late day 3 to groom under Jalen Hurts, check him out.
There you go, David. Any thoughts on Green?
If I were GM for the weekend, he's probably the guy who I'd select if he's there in the 6th round to be the Eagles' third string quarterback going into the season. I believe everything that Deibs said is dead on. The athletic traits are there. He does need coaching, but he has a very similar skill set to type of offense they're about to create, the type of player that Jalen Hurts is. So to me, it's kind of a no-brainer, honestly. He's not my top 5, but he would definitely be who I'd select in round 6 if he was there and the Eagles are trying to draft a quarterback, and they probably are.
I think there's a lot of guys that have a low ceiling, high floor, and he's a guy I'm gonna roll the dice and swing for the fences on his upside.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah. No, everything I see about him and read about him is just the athletic freak that he is. And he ran a 4.44 40, so it's pretty darn good. I'll certainly take that. Yeah, I've seen the comparison between him and Anthony Richardson, athleticism wise, and just needing to, be taught up. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of see where he might end up.
He's a long way to go.
Oh yeah.
Long way to go in terms of being an NFL quarterback. Doesn't know how to handle pressure, stares down his first reads, he's a lot of work, but maybe in 3 to 4 years could be something.
Yeah. All right, David, you're number 5.
Drew Aller from Penn State. I think he possesses, prototypical NFL size. He's got pretty impressive arm strength. He's shown good velocity throwing the ball to all levels of the field. And then here comes the buts and the ifs. Teams should be cautious about, whether he's going to develop pocket awareness, anticipation, and play, with the better reactionary speed, because if those don't develop, his athletic physical tools just aren't going to matter. So I think that's basically what it'll come down to. I mean, somebody's obviously going to take a chance on him, but he's going to need coaching as well. He's not as raw as the player we were just talking about, but nonetheless, his play action speed, his pocket awareness, and anticipation must improve for him ever to see an NFL field during a real game.
I fully agree. I really like this guy in that day 3 range. If the Eagles were looking to roll the dice on a quarterback, like David said, elite arm talent, but the physical stuff is there. But between the ears, the mechanics, his ability to, make big throws in big game situations, big time question mark. So can he, improve in that area at the next level? But you cannot deny his talent. I feel like I watched a lot of Penn State games over the last several years, and there's always been question marks when it comes to the offensive coordinator and the play calling and things like that. But as a guy that could be like a poor man's Tanner McKee in 2 3 years, let's see what he's got.
There you go. Gotcha. Yeah, obviously, Penn State kid. People certainly saw the ups and downs, and yeah, I think that's probably rings true as far as maybe where we can kind of see him in this draft. Um, let's move on. I will say, I don't know what's going on. My computer is having I think a seizure. So all my notes that I have are I cannot see. So I'm just gonna go through and not really say much. I had Carson Beck at number 5. I know he's certainly kind of fallen since about a year and a half ago, since he was projected to be a top 10 kind of guy. And had a really bad, not really bad, but a subpar season at Georgia. And hit the transfer portal, went to Miami, and proceeded to take them to the title game. So I think he perhaps kind of helped his stock by his Miami season here, but and he certainly is an older prospect, somebody that needs to, kind of prove the consistency and the decision making in the next level. But again, I like his kind of veteran leadership that he brings to a team, and I think somebody's going to take advantage of that for sure come draft night. So, any thoughts on that?
Props to him for having a terrific 2025 season, honestly. He was kind of written off a year ago, and he was, number one pick territory, I think, for a certain amount of time prior to last year, prior to 2 years ago. And came in and really performed well for Miami. I'm not the biggest Carson Beck fan, but he deserves a shout out for a day 3 pick.
There you go. David?
Yeah, I agree with what Deibs said. I mean, congrats to him for, coming back and doing as well as he did. I think he surprised a lot of people in Miami down there. Teams who want a developmental quarterback to try to fix anything flawed that they see in him might not be as apt to draft him because of, will he be 24 this year already?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I don't want to be an ageist, but when it comes to prospects, people are always trying to bet on how high the traits and talent can take you. 24, 25, when, we were dealing with those COVID years with the college exemptions. It's a little different than like what we were comparing earlier with Anthony Richardson, who came into the league at 20. You still have a lot of hope with something like that. It's a lot different when somebody's 24.
Yeah, definitely agree. All right, Deibs, number 4.
I think I went with Drew Aller for my number 4.
Oh, yeah, you did. My
Yeah.
apologies. You already
okay.
spoke on him?
Yeah.
David, how about your number 4?
Garrett Nussmeier, is that how you say it?
No,
Sounds wonderful. Yeah, he's aggressive, confident passer. He has really quick release mechanics. He's definitely has a willingness to challenge downfield, but his gunslinger type mentality, it creates a lot of explosive plays, but it's also led to, a lot of turnover and a lot of volatility. Improving his decision making will probably be the key to how high his ceiling can be. His aggressive, risk taking style, like I said, get the ball downfield, but it also leads to a lot of forced throws. And in the NFL, that's going to lead to a lot of turnovers because defenses are far more disciplined at the next level. So it'll be how teams evaluate his ability, to change that kind of mentality and if they could reel that in or not. But overall, I mean, when you're talking about a guy who's the 4th best quarterback in the NFL draft, he's definitely going to find a home and somebody's going to bet on the talent there with his arm.
Yeah. Deibs, your thoughts?
No, I did learn that he was playing most of last year hurt. So there was that. But yeah, another day 3 guy. Didn't have the 2025 season that I thought he was going to have. I mean, he was definitely trending up in a big way at the start of the 2025 season. Didn't go as planned, as we all know, for LSU. So,
Yeah.
day 3 guy for me.
Yeah. Yeah, he dealt with the kind of some, injuries and some issues at LSU with their, medical staff there. But honestly, I mean, the fact that he's, the son of a quarterbacks coach in the NFL, when he's on, that ball looks amazing. So there's not a lot of, coaching, that you're really going to have to do with him. It's more or less of just him kind of learning the system and getting comfortable. I think the skills are there. It's just how high is that ceiling? So yeah, but he's a really, really talented, leader for that LSU team, and somebody's certainly going to get themselves a talented quarterback.
Where do you have him, Ryan? Day 3 or higher?
Yeah, I have him as a day 3 guy. I mean, he's
Yeah.
number 4 on my list. Again, quarterback class is not the greatest, but yeah, I think somebody will definitely, given the pedigree, given the fact that, again, he's been groomed to be a quarterback his entire life, pretty much. Somebody's gonna, take a chance on that and realize that, a lot of the hurdles that some of these other quarterbacks are going to have to deal with as far as the learning of a new system and how to kind of work within the system. I don't think they're really going to have to worry about that with Nussmeier.
Yeah, the problem will be just how risk averse. I mean, we all know the Eagles were, but the whole NFL is against turnovers now. I mean, it's just quite obvious if you don't turn the ball over, you have a, much higher percent chance of winning. And reeling in that gunslinger mentality will probably be the biggest risk a team's going to take, because you're right, everything else is already there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I do like him, and he's definitely going to be a guy that I'm going to keep an eye on, when he enters this league, because again, I feel like he's going to have a leg up, sooner than most. All right, moving on to our number 3 overall. Deibs, you want to go with your number 3?
Yeah, interesting guy. Another boomer bust kind of guy, and that is Trinidad Chambliss, out of Ole Miss. Watched a lot of Ole Miss these last few years, and this is an interesting one, especially for the Philadelphia Eagles. Honestly, plus arm talent, throws a great spiral, deadly from every platform, knows how to work every area of the field. Solid athlete. Once he's out in an open space, he's got some shake to make defenders miss. Weaknesses wise, he's not big, as you see. He had 15 batted passes this past season. His mechanics are bad. That needs to get coached up. And he needs to get to become a better decision maker. He stares down his first read too often. Needs to learn how to go through his progressions, but he had some really nice looking plays last year. Some really intriguing upside and talent for sure. His future is contingent on his continued development, but I think he's a day 3 guy, but he will most likely be selected sometime in that day 2 range.
Yeah, I could definitely see him being picked maybe a little bit sooner than he might have. But yeah, everything you said pretty much rings true. Is if somebody's going to get themselves a wall mold with clay, and I think if given to the right person, given to the right team and the right situation, he could end up being a pretty shockingly talented player in this league.
Yeah, I had him number 3 as well. I actually think he's a top 100 player on the board. I think a team is definitely going to invest that type of draft cap, on him. He's a dual threat quarterback. As Deibs mentioned, he creates explosive plays with his mobility, and his out of structure throws are really good. Like he was talking about his exciting plays. That's where most of them came from. He's confident. Vertical passing approach is very impressive. NFL teams are obviously going to be weary of his limited high level starting experience and whether his size and pocket consistency will be able to hold up against NFL defenses and the complexity of them. He hasn't really faced a lot of that, but he's a fun gamble and player to watch. If you had to take a quarterback this year, he's definitely, in the top 3, in my opinion, just for the athleticism and what he can possibly bring. Always lean towards the side on athletic profiles and traits like that. I kind of bet on what can happen more than guys who we already kind of know who they are. I look for more players like him. And if I had to take a quarterback, and somewhere around into round 3, I'm grabbing him if I need one.
Cool. I think there's a really, really good chance he could be a midnight green come draft night, depending on how the board falls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've certainly seen it.
It happens every year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's just, I think maybe even a month ago, I could have, seen that happen. I just think there's just, with everything going on with the uncertainty of the offensive line and, to try and grab a quarterback this early this year just seems like not the right time. You know what I mean?
I would tend to agree, but that's normally when Howie does it.
I mean, you're right. I mean, he zigs when everybody's eggs.
He does that. I remember the shock in 2020 when Jalen Hurts was drafted.
Sure.
Literally every friend I have sent me text messages cursing Howie's name to hell. Everybody hated it. And I can remember saying, I don't know, I don't think it's that bad. It just quarterbacks in general who have that kind of athleticism. I'm not comparing them to Jalen Hurts, who was like pick number 50, but it's rare to find guys like that you really like in the draft. And if it's somebody that your organization believes that you can groom and turn into something good, it also gives you leverage against things like future 2020 Jalen Hurts extension. And those are the kind of full picture things that a lot of us never think about that are in the back of Howie's mind 24/7. So
Right.
I wouldn't call it likely, but I damn sure wouldn't say it's out of the realm of possibility either.
No, yeah, no, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't think there's really anything that's out of the realm of possibility with Howie.
Maybe
So,
not even a kicker late this year. We might
I
see a kicker.
mean, I think there's a lot of people that are clamoring for a kicker. So, wouldn't doubt it one bit.
Are we doing a kicker show too?
Yeah,
Right.
we might need to.
I don't think we've ever done that.
I don't think we've literally never done that.
We can just do a whole special teams, long snappers, punters, kickers, your top 5.
I like it.
There you go.
No one else will. Glad you did.
No, exactly.
I think we always like joke around about it, but it never happens.
I mean, I guess, but all right. So it looks like we all had Chambliss as our number 3. And
I think the rest of them are in order for all of us.
the rest of them are in order. Number 2, we have Ty Simpson. Who wants to start first on Alabama's quarterback?
I mean, I can. He brings a strong arm talent. The ability to drive throws into tight windows has been impressive. He attacks vertically pretty well. He's very accurate. His development hinges to me on his consistency, like processing speed, and prove that he can command an offense over an entire game, much less an entire season, rather than just in flashes at times, which kind of showed up a lot in the Alabama games. His limited starting experience might scare some teams off. But again, I think processing the field against defenses in the NFL will be the biggest thing that might challenge some. I see that he's a good processor on that right there, but I do think he's going to be challenged at the next level quite a bit just from his experience.
There you go, Deibs.
Yeah, arguably the biggest winner of the 2025 college football season. I definitely think he's going to be drafted sometime day 1 or day 2. Overdrafted for sure. But he's got some physical tools. Like David said, definitely some questionable decision making, definitely some questionable ability to handle pressure at the NFL level. So it really needs to grow there. He's not a great at. I just don't know what he's truly great at, quite honestly. I mean, he's got high football IQ and things like that. And I do think he's going to be overdrafted, but can he anticipate and process at the NFL level? He's got some things that, definitely have going for him. Like he can definitely use his eyes and manipulate defenders. He can throw well going left and right. He's got fluid hips. He's got some nuance to his game, but his pocket presence, ability to handle pressure, and that's going to be some questions he'll need to answer during this draft process. He's also got below average size, definitely a developmental prospect, and how much he can grow mentally and mechanically to reach that potential is something to watch.
All right, there you go. Number 2, Ty Simpson. And finally, our number 1, no surprise here, Mr. Fernando Mendoza, Heisman winner, champion, number 1 pick potentially. Deibs, what about Mendoza?
Yeah, let me get the graphic up. Fernando Mendoza, man, just a winner, just a straight up winner, just straight up baller. Just so much respect from what we saw during the 2025 college football season. NFL translatable game from the jump. He's a guy that looks the part, above average size, good arm strength. He's got touch. His ability to throw to the boundary is elite. Great decision maker. Knows how to make the right play, the smart play, rather than play hero ball like some of the other guys we talked about. Excellent at avoiding turnovers, which, like David alluded to, that's kind of king in the NFL right now. Can hit intermediate and deep areas of the field, goes through his progressions, and I think he can play a kind of a variety of different offenses in the NFL. But when it comes to like some concerns, I don't think he has the best arm strength. I don't think he's an elite athlete by any means. I have some question marks about how high his ceiling is. But I've been wrong before. Guys like Bo Nix, and if this guy's selected into the right system, I definitely think he can be a good NFL starting quarterback.
Yeah. David?
Yeah, I agree with almost all of that. If your heart and how hard and how bad you want to win is a predictor of success, then he's going to thrive because that's just his DNA. But, his game, he's kind of a rhythm-based timing passer who he kind of thrived distributing the ball accurately in short and intermediate areas for the most part. His poise and decision-making, I thought, was really good. His overall arm talent, like Deibs alluded to, his arm strength ceiling may limit his ability to consistently attack like tight windows and get down the field some. I think that would be the question marks that have any team, debating him, which that's not going to happen. He's going to go first overall to the Raiders. And I think ending up with Clint Kubiak is a W, in my opinion, to have somebody who can, we just saw what he did with Sam Darnold. The guy is going to, be there to help him out. I think it's the best move for the Raiders. It's a big difference in like what Caleb Williams went into his first year. I think you see how much structure is, is dependent on a quarterback's success in the NFL, quite frankly. And as soon as, what was it, Ben Johnson, who went to Chicago, Caleb's fortunes completely turned around because he's with, a really good offensive coordinator who's building around his skills and doing things the right way and giving them confidence and building games, sequencing plays, everything we didn't see Patullo do this year. And it makes a big difference. And you lose confidence when you're not like that. And I don't think Mendoza's going to have any of that with Kubiak. So in my opinion, I think it's a really good situation, and I can see why people will be excited to see him play. I'm, for one, a fan of his. I know he's got, a little bit of, some people love him, some people hate him for how he talks after games or whatever, but I'm a big fan of the guy's heart, and I hope he does well there.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think those intangibles are the thing that's going to, keep him as a starter in this league for a lot longer than probably might. But yeah, I just like about the way he goes about his business. You look at somebody like Jalen Hurts, who, again, is one of the most criticized quarterbacks, but he has an intangible that just, isn't often replicated. And it's just the ability to win. And something about Mendoza, maybe it's not that specific intangible, but there's something very positive about him that I think you would love to start a franchise with. That's for sure.
Since we're on quarterbacks, I wanted to say one thing. Did either of y'all happen to watch the Elway documentary on Netflix?
No.
Not yet.
It is really, really well done, but there was a part of it where they're interviewing Shanahan, the Denver coach who won the Super Bowl with Elway. And it said that he was this close to becoming the Eagles head coach until the Broncos swooped in and offered him the job there. I had never heard that ever.
No.
I can't imagine the fortunes that could have possibly changed.
So what time was this? This would have been Reed, right?
No, it was much, much sooner. It was
Or before?
like maybe when Cunningham was quarterback.
Well, he's talking about then. Oh.
Yeah. Which was just crazy to me. I'd never heard that tidbit ever. So anyway, since it's quarterback night, I just figured I'd throw that in there.
Yeah, no, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, that would have been.
Yeah, there's no Elway in this draft.
Can I address this question? Where would you rank Mendoza in last year's and the 2024 draft class?
Of course.
This is a really fun question. He would be behind, for me, Drake May, Jaden Daniels. I was a big Caleb Williams guy. I know that was controversial, but he'd be behind all those guys. He would probably be in that same tier of Bo Nix. I was also a Penix guy. I was not a JJ McCarthy guy. Who am I missing? Cameron Ward? Probably same team. Cameron Ward? Somewhere around there. Yeah. So like late first round pick.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, there you go. There are our top 5 quarterbacks. We all had the top 3 the same: Mendoza, Simpson, Chambliss. And then we had Nussmeier, a few of us had Aller. Deibs, you had Green, and I had Beck. Well, there are our rankings, and what we're going to do now is we are going to have a mock draft where now we must draft a quarterback. It doesn't necessarily have to be any of the guys we drafted in the top 5, but a quarterback must be drafted, and that is the rules. My computer is still completely effed. I literally, I can't even see anything. I don't know how we're going to end the show. We'll figure it out, I guess. You two set yourselves up. We can go, one full draft at a time, whichever one of you guys wants to go first.
I cannot show mine on screen because I'm using my phone. And
All right.
sadly for you, your computer's on the spritz.
Looks
So
like
Deibs can go first.
Oh, Josh could definitely go first.
Let's see how it is.
I'm trying anything and everything to figure this out.
I would have had Cam Ward ahead of Mendoza just to fill time. I would have not had Dart or Shador or Quinn or anybody else.
All right. Can you see my screen?
No,
I can.
I can't, but that's for a different reason.
All right. What are we doing? 4 rounds, 7 rounds? What are we thinking?
There's no need for 7.
Yeah, why don't we do 4 and get yourself quarterback in the top 4? So you might be drafting
on the middle. There we go. All right, Eagles are on the clock here. Caleb Bangs, Vega is available. Kenyon Sadiq, definitely an interesting pick, considering I don't like a lot of the other tight ends in this class. Brandon Cisse is a really good cornerback. I think could be in play. There's Ty Simpson, since this is our quarterback show, but I'm going to stick with my gut and do exactly what I did last week. I'm going to go with the trenches as how he does. I'm going to go Vega Ioane out of Penn State and bolster up the line, given all the Dickerson news and things like that. Just to, get some bodies on that O line. So let's roll to round 2. I'm going to just quickly check the quarterbacks. We're good there.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Raise the runners! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Support for this show and the Fans First Sports Network comes from Strong Coffee Company. Elevate your coffee routine with Strong Coffee Company's Black Instant Blend and Lattes. Both feature organic coffee, protein, MCTs, and adaptogens for sustained energy and mental clarity. With quick delivery and exceptional taste, their coffee is a convenient option and a nutritious addition to your daily routine. Experience a healthier, most productive day with Strong Coffee Company. Visit strongcoffeecompany.com and receive 20% off at checkout using promo code FFSN. Again, strongcoffeecompany.com, FFSN.
Looking at who's available. I'm going to skim this really quickly. Elijah Surratt could be an interesting kind of X receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles. Anthony Lucas has some talent. Max Clare is sitting there. Michael Trigg has like a 7-foot wingspan. Some really interesting measurables. And there's our guy, Garrett Nussmeier. So, man, I don't want to do exactly what I did last week because I'm definitely biased when it comes to
a little bit. It's hard not to be biased early on when you just really like certain guys. And
yeah. I'm going to go Max Clare out of Ohio State. For my next selection, we're rolling on to round 3. Have not addressed the edge. Derek Moore. I don't know if he can drop back in coverage. David, correct me if I'm wrong there. A little bit of a head scratcher there. So, not making a move there, but we will look at edge. Deny Dennis Sutton would be interesting. Also interesting. Yeah, I'm going to just go Dunker again. Another guy that could play inside and play out, adding to the offensive line. Similar draft to last week, but this is my draft.
So now you're forced to go QB.
Yeah.
I have one more round.
Oh, yeah. 4 picks in the top 3 rounds. My bad.
See, I can't even see, so I don't know what's coming.
Who do we think for that extra 3rd round pick?
Let's see who's available at quarterback.
Who do we think for that one? Which one was that?
All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take Drew Aller here in round 3 because I don't like any of the other ones. So there you go. There's my quarterback, Drew Aller for the Philadelphia Eagles in round 3. A little bit of a reach, but that's where we're at. Ooh, Malik Muhammad. I think I might go there.
For him?
Yep. And we're gonna take Malik Muhammad. Didn't have the 2025 season I thought he was going to have, but he's a big-time talent for sure. And then the Eagles are back on the clock here, given that he's available. Did we take an edge? I don't think we did.
I don't think you did, man.
We think Hassan Reddick for that extra 3rd round pick, by the way.
Yes. I was going to say, that makes sense.
Only name came in my head was Bryce Huff, and I was like, it's definitely not 3rd round pick.
Definitely not him.
We ended up with Eli Raridan out of another tight end. Just adding to that.
I like the double tight end play.
Yeah. That might be the move.
And a lot of people wouldn't like
I can't see.
A lot of people wouldn't like Vega at 23, but I actually love that pick. I do that constantly. I'm down with it. And the cost of guards just keeps rising in the NFL, especially in free agency. I think you get a guy like him for 5 years, just like what they've had with Dickerson. I mean, you see how important it's been. I think addressing that was really smart. And Malik Muhammad's one of my favorite corners in the draft as far as a Eagles fit later, like a round 3-ish, 4 kind of guy. So I like it a lot.
Nice.
All right. Should I just roll with this and then I'll have you pick, David?
Yeah, that's fine. Luckily, I can see the screen good.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, I would pick Vega, but I'm not, since you did. Go to OT only. I'm taking Monroe Freeling.
Georgia. Nice.
Absolutely love that guy. He's played right tackle. He could fill in for Lane. He could do anything while we're waiting for him to come. And then I'm going back to the trenches in round 2 with Chase Basantis, who I think is the 2nd best fit for guard out there for the Eagles. Absolutely love that dude. I'm not taking Chambliss this high. Go to cornerbacks, because I normally would take Malik, but I don't want to copy you. But yeah, I'm not going corner with that. Go to wide receiver. I don't want any of that.
It's such a bad draft.
What about tight end?
Yeah. Let me see tight ends. I'll take a quick peek.
Woohoo.
Yeah. Give me Malachi Fields, wide receiver from Notre Dame.
Oh, nice.
I'm protecting myself in case AJ does demand a trade. I need another receiver. I guess, let me see edge.
What's your take on Jayshon Barham?
I haven't watched him a lot, to be honest with you. I see all of the hype with him here lately. I mean, I had him like as somebody who I thought would be there in the 4th round, and now I'm not so sure. It seems like a lot of people are valuing him higher. So I've only watched 2 games of his, so I need to watch more, apparently. I really like Mikhail Kamara. I'm a homer, though. He played for JMU before he followed over to Indiana there. So I've been a big fan of him for years. I really like him. Go back to tight end, I guess. I feel like I'm reaching though. If I saw everything you had before, I just don't really like a lot of that. Keep going down a little bit. Gosh. I love Tanner. I love Tanner for the Eagles. Absolutely love that dude. And I think he's grossly misrepresented here at whatever that was, 170 or 150.
Is that your pick?
No. I'll take Jolly at tight end. I don't love that, but every single draft I'm going to do, I'm going to take two. And there's Malik Muhammad, who is the best corner left, but I keep scrolling down a little bit. I just don't want to copy you. I'll take Davison. I like him a lot for the Eagles as well. I think he's got a lot of talent. Now, my last one, I have to take a quarterback.
Just waiting to the end.
And I'll take Green. It's grossly too high, but I don't like anybody else, and I think he's one of the few fits that the Eagles would actually take outside of Chambliss. So there's my ugly draft. But if you nail the first three, like Howie does, he says if you get your first three picks, 14 of his last 15 selections made on day 1 and 2 are now starters. And if you can keep rolling with that, you're going to be in contention every year.
Good.
Yeah, like last week, 2 of my first 3 picks were on the line, offensive line. I really like that for sure.
I think that's probably the way to go unless something just crazy happens. I'd like to move up for a corner like Jermod McCoy or Mansour Delane, but I just don't think it's realistic. You'd probably have to move up into the teens, and that's probably going to be really hard. But then again, every night we've done the draft show, we've been sat here and watched Cooper DeJean fall to us at 50 and Quignon at 21 or 22. Like every time we've done that show, something wild's happened where we're just looking at each other and can't even believe it. So it'll happen again this year, I'm sure. Just hopefully it's at the position that the Eagles want it to be.
Right.
Yeah. Also, if Avion's sitting there, that I definitely take a hard,
good one.
long look at that one.
I'm a huge Omar Cooper Jr. fan, but I see that he's starting to really go up rankings now.
Yeah.
Brugler put him in like the top 30 or something I saw today, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Jeez.
I had him top 50 and thought I was uber high, and apparently not. So
Lord.
after the Senior Bowl, lots of players just start shooting up these mock simulators.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. David, you're all done. Why don't you recap for those?
Who I had?
Yeah.
Monroe Freeling, tackle for Georgia. Chase Basantis, guard from Texas A&M. Malachi Fields, wide receiver from Notre Dame. Justin Jolly, tight end. Davison Igbenison, we'll go with that. Cornerback, Ohio State. And Taylon Green, Arkansas quarterback, which is about 50 spots too high, but I have to take one now, so that's what we did.
The rules. All right. Well, there you go, folks. There are the quarterbacks. We got it done and out of the way.
And if Deibs puts that on YouTube, he'll beat me 70% to 30% like he does every single time.
I don't know about that.
You wax me in these every single time. I don't think I've ever won one, ever, against anybody. Shane, Ryan, no one.
I feel like every time I lose to Ryan, so I guess it balances out.
That's because Ryan took 5 linebackers every time. I mean, he was always going to win this.
He would literally draft Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
Yeah, and this year you can put Josiah Trotter on there and you're going to win again. It's like a cheat code.
Listen, there's not a mock draft I do that I don't think about it.
We're already trading. Yeah, we're already going to trade Jahad Campbell for Trotter, the new Trotter. Make it happen.
Good Lord. Well, there you go, folks. There are our top 5 quarterbacks. We did a couple of mock drafts where we took some quarterbacks. We did only 4 rounds. Again, crazy things have happened. I know I've seen some mock drafts. What was it? Was it McClain who was the one who took a tackle in the first and then Chambliss in the second? It was somebody. Couldn't remember who.
I saw a mock that had that. I don't remember who did it, but yeah.
But it was, I was just like, oh, cool. 2 players who won't see the field. That's great. especially now that our whole offensive line is retiring.
I did hear Baldinger say that Lane's coming back, so that's
Yeah,
probably
I
very
I
realistic.
gotta tell you, the whole time I never, nothing ever really came from Lane, but he's always been pretty steadfast about playing his contract through.
Yeah.
And that's the end of next year. And that's probably when Hill's going to retire. I never thought he was going to retire, but now obviously all of this, you know, Landon Dickerson, stuff comes out, and you just think about all of the injuries he's had throughout his career, and just, he's beat the hell up. And it wouldn't shock me if he's the one to go.
Yeah. Lane, I think, was just people reading tea leaves because he'd only ever played for Stout. He didn't get to come back
Right.
this
Yeah.
season due to an injury. I don't believe that was ever a viable report. Dickerson is real. He,
Yeah.
at
Oh, yeah.
times, shouldn't even have been on the field this season. He's been hurt since last year, and quite frankly, he probably should have shut it down for 6 weeks at the beginning of this season. And it caused a lot of problems. And physically, as y'all guys know, the only reason the Eagles got him was because he was beat to death in college, too. I think he had 2 ACLs in college.
He did. Yeah.
I mean, it's, he's put his body through a lot. He just bought a farm like last year. I think you might see him just sail away and go live on his farm with his new bride, have kids, and live a happy life with $40-50 million.
Yeah.
Which, with his lifestyle, will last generations.
Yeah. Not a bad gig. Not a bad
No,
gig.
not at all.
So there you have it, folks. Quarterbacks done. We'll move next week to running backs. We'll again do a top 5. We'll do
Notre Dame.
Draft. Yeah, yeah, right. Well, we'll do a mock draft where we have to draft a running back.
Running back.
The AJ
Kenny
Dillon
Gainwell.
replacement.
I'm trading for Gainwell. I'm not drafting one. I'm getting Gainwell back. You have to admit, he had an awesome season, right?
He did.
He had an awesome season with the Eagles, too.
So,
he just never could get that touchdown for us on the right week for Ryan to have to get that jersey.
I know, right? I know. Well, any of you guys signed in and can end the show or no?
No, I will give you kudos for driving unable to see the entire evening. That's pretty impressive.
Couldn't see.
I can't do it when I have Intel in front of me, so I don't know how the hell you just managed.
Yeah. No, it was about 3 minutes into the show.
Just highly edit all the ums and pauses and all that. It'll be a great show.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Google Chrome for having like a seizure or something, and then just completely white pages, so can't see nothing.
Fun.
So if you guys can't end the show, I'm going to sign in under Microsoft Edge.
What's that?
That's
I can
like
hit
Microsoft
leave.
Internet. Yeah,
which
but it
probably
won't
just
end
makes
the
me
show.
leave.
You still gotta end the show.
At least I'm the hell out of here.
But I'll be basically double logged in, and it might do something. So let's say our goodbyes now before I ruin the internet. David, what do you got? What do you got going on? Tell people where they can find you.
Find everything on X or at phillysportsnetwork.com. I do have a piece that I spent a long time writing coming out tomorrow where I talk to players and coaches about the progression of quarterbacks and the defenses and the evolution of learning how to navigate through all of the different style of defenses and stuff. If you don't read too much, all right, give that one a chance because it's probably one of the best things I've written in a while. And again, it's coming from a lot of people in the building. So it's a pretty interesting read.
Nice. Yeah, make sure you go check that out. I'm assuming you'll be tweeting that out all over the place.
They do it normally. I'm just along for the ride. Whatever they want to do, I just hit the repost button.
Got it. Well, make sure you check out all of David's writing. Deibs, anything you got going on?
No, I'm just glad to be back for the ride. I feel like we're officially heading towards a pattern. Last week, for example, during our mock draft, we took some heat for drafting so many offensive linemen, and given everything we've seen over the last 7 days,
sure.
I'm not buying Miles Hinton, or I'm not buying Cameron Williams, and I'm not buying Holland Pierce right now. I'm going to be following this pattern where I'm going to be learning a lot about these offensive linemen over these next 3 months, 2 months.
And the traits are different. If they're going to run outside zone, they need a different, they need some different style guys like Vega, which is one of the reasons I'm so big on drafting him that high. He can get outside quick. I mean, he's just a stud, dude. I mean, they're going to be making a lot of changes along the line, and some of the profiles that we've seen in the past, the scouting department has, been directed to start maybe changing some of the traits that they look for. And that's going to really, change a lot, but in a lot of ways, a lot of fans were bummed about losing Stout, but it's also could be exciting because you're going to see a lot of different variations of things that we haven't seen on the Eagles offense in 5, 6, 7 years. So I'm excited about it.
Can Jalen Hurts fit that style of offense? It's going to be fascinating. So thanks for watching.
It is. He's capable. He's got the physicality and the tools to do it. It's just how, will it all marry together? And we're going to find out, but I'm excited for it. And I think fans should be too. It has a real opportunity to really be a really different look. Because you have to admit, last year was boring. Didn't matter how many games they won. It was never fun. It was never cohesive. It was just never a pleasant watch. Even when they won, you kind of felt dirty. It just wasn't fun.
Yeah, no, that absolutely will be interesting to see kind of the direction of the team now. A lot of new coaches pushing that direction, and hopefully that the players, the coaches, and it's all married and in sync by the time the game starts. So keep questioning and looking at it. So we'll let y'all guys know anything that does happen, but make sure that you are tuned in to the Eagles Pinpool Network wherever you watch, wherever you listen, whether you're YouTube, Facebook, or you're listening on Spotify, Apple. Please make sure that you like, follow, share, comment, rate, whatever buttons there are, please hit them all. It does mean the world to us, and it takes you 3 seconds to show your love. So we do appreciate that. Thank you. And sorry, wasn't able to get to any comments because blind, and I cannot wait to hit this join session button where my other login is going to break the show here. So thank you all. We'll see you guys next week. We'll be doing running backs, so stay tuned for that. So for Deibs, for David, and myself, and the Eagles Pinpool Network, thank y'all for joining, and we'll get to the comments next week, I promise. Or maybe I won't. I don't know. I can't promise anything. I can't even promise that I can
end the show.
I could end the show. Right, exactly. I have no idea what's about to happen.
Depends when Apple delivers his new computer.
Yeah. Well, please, somebody tell Apple to hurry up.
I haven't smiled this hard in a long time. This is great. My face hurts.
Oh boy. Well, it's happening.
I'm screen recording this just to see your look because I'm going to post this. That look of bewilderment and fear all mixed in together.
Thanks. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Let's see if this works. I'm entering the recording studio.